Hello, viewers. This is SP here, and this is the fourth installment of my Pokemon Final Remake ideas. For Gen 4, I gave it the name Albit version. Like with Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, Albit is a sort of a unique stone that's white in color. And the reason why I chose that for the title is because Arceus is white. Yes, Arceus is the main legendary Pokemon for this final remake of Gen 4. Also, its pre-evolved form would be the starter Pokemon for the protagonist. If you haven't watched my Pokemon Ideas video, I gave this 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 pre-evolved form of Arceus the name Pre-Arc. I know it's not a perfect name, but heck, I tried. I don't know how the protagonist would receive this pre-evolved form of Arceus as a starter Pokemon. I haven't really thought things through with that one. Maybe like a special event or something. I don't know. But anyway, like with the previous three, you would give the protagonist a different personality and you know, also be connected with the previous games if you played them. Though you can receive the starter Pokemon in different ways, like with Pokemon Yellow, with talking to a person, and he or she would give you a certain starter Pokemon for Gen 4. Oh yeah, and for this version, or this final remake of Gen 4, Cynthia would be a dragon type user. I know in the original she's a various type user, but I just thought it'd be cool to give her a unique typing instead of just the regular various type user. And yes, like with the previous, the protagonist would date particular people depending on the protagonist's gender. So for Lucas, aka the male trainer, he would date either Dawn, Gardenia, Maylene, Fontiana, or whatever his name pronounced. Whatever her name's pronounced, sorry. Candace, Cynthia, Dahila, Mars, or Jupiter. For Dawn, aka the female trainer, she could date either Lucas, Barry, Rorak, whatever his name is pronounced, Faulkner, Aaron, Lucan, Flint, Darak, Thornton, or Saturn. During the battle with Giratina, which would play similar to Platinum, the player or the protagonist can choose either to catch Giratina or to let Cynthia catch Giratina. Which either way, the protagonist would receive its data and add it to the Pokédex. So yeah, it's pretty much like with the previous game. So letting a particular character catch a legendary Pokemon, but still receive its data and add it to its Pokédex. And yes, the XP share would be a key item, and you can choose to turn it on or off. And yes, there'll be the regional forms and the pre-evolved forms of the Gen 4 Pokemon. But it would have the option. This idea is pretty much optional. You could choose either to do gym battles or contests. So anyway, for the character for the sorry, for the clothing for the characters to wear, and yes, the art style is the same, either by Timothy Lim or from the same art style from 4S's Dynazenon. But here are the clothes that the characters would wear. For Lucas, aka the male player, here's what he wears. And this is what Dawn, aka the female trainer, would wear. This is what Professor Rowan would wear. Here's what Barry could wear. Though for Barry, for his starter Pokemon, he could. I was thinking about giving him an Eevee, because it doesn't have like a typing. Well, it's something like with Pokemon Yellow, but that's just an optional idea. For the gym leaders, this is what Warrock would wear. This is what Gardenia would wear. This is what Maylina would wear. This is what Crasher Wake wears. This is what Fontinia wears. This is what Brian would wear. This is what Candice would wear. This is what Vulcan would wear for the Elite Four. This is what Aaron would wear. This is what Bertha would wear. This is what Lucian would wear. This is what Flint would wear. And this is what the champion would wear, aka Cynthia. And for the Frontier Brains, this is what Palmer would wear. And like with the original version, Palmer would be Barry's dad, aka the Rivals. Sorry, I forgot to mention that Barry would also be the main rival for the character, for the protagonist. Sorry. This is what Argenta would wear. This is what Dorak would wear. And this is what Dahila would wear. And this is what Thornton would wear. And for Team Galactic, so this is what Cyrus would wear. This is what Mars would wear. This is what Saturn would wear. This is what Jupiter will wear. This is what Karen would wear. And this is what the Grunts would wear. In conclusion, like I said about Pokemon Platinum, this game would have all the good or positive things from Pokemon Platinum, where, the Pokemon for Gen 4 are now available at the start of the game instead of right during the post game. So, what do you guys think about my ideas for a final remake of Pokemon Gen 4? What ideas do you have for a final remake of Pokemon Gen 4? Leave your comments down below, and goodbye.